So I told you guys that I have a surprise for you, and we're going to get into that right now. Here we have a Dana 44 high pinion out of a 1978 Ford. A friend of mine was going to put this in a Jeep that he was building a few years back, but never got around to doing it. This is the Dana 60 that will be going under the rear of the wagon. I don't think this will be a big issue going into the car, so we'll probably get started on it before we do the front axle. Let's get started. This is our Dana 60 we'll be using in the rear of the car. As you can see, I've already got the new spring perches tacked in place. The last few days have been kind of hectic for me and I haven't had time to video, but I did have time to go ahead and cut the old spring perches and shock mounting points off of this axle, as well as locate our new spring perches. Now I've got it set with about 4 degrees of pinion angle. I'm thinking that's going to be about our ballpark number, but I won't know for sure until our transfer case and transmission are mounted under the car. This is close to what the old axle had on it, so we should be ballparking in the same range. All I did to find the angles was I used this little digital angle gauge, and I set it on the pinion snout of my axle and rotated the axle to find where 0 degrees of the spring perches matched up with the degree on the pinion. Now to put these in place, I ran all of my measurements from the outer axle tubes to the insides of the old perches to make sure they were even on both sides and we had no offsets. I also measured out center of this axle, marked it. I'm not sure if you can really see this, but I have a marking here from where I had my measurements written down of where I needed to move the spring perches to in order to match up with our leaf springs in the car. I measured our center point of our leaf spring pin after I had the old axle out. I didn't capture that footage either, but I was able to grab that measurement and locate these to where this should bolt straight into the car. I have very flimsy little tacks on it for now, so we're going to go ahead and put a little bit bigger of a bead on each one of these to hold it a little bit more solid, but only on this side so that if I need to move it, I can get to it with it in the car and slide it back and forth and cut that weld to get it to slide, I mean. Whew, that's a fat weld. Not fatter than necessary, but Ain't going nowhere. That's what we're after in this line of work. When I come back through to weld it, I'll lay a much smaller root pass, and then we'll probably overlay it with a double pass. Once I pulled the differential cover, I found that there was probably about a quart of water in here and maybe about a cup of rear end fluid. So as a result, the carrier has this layer of rust on it, but it's really only in this area. As you can see, it kind of starts to fade the further this way it goes. So it looks like it was sitting with the pinion up and all the water was gathering over on this side. So it's probably leaning that way as well. This side looks fine. The spider gears, the ring gear, the pinion gear, I don't see any rust on those or any pitting. So I think we're going to be okay to just clean this up, refill it with some oil. I have a new differential cover coming for it. Looking at the ring gear markings, it looks like we have 410 gears in these after all. So that is a big plus. And yeah, nothing looks to be out of the ordinary in the case. Nice and clean and dry now that I put some brake clean to it. Let's get it to the back of the car. I am liking that. It's not fully solid. It's not completely tightened down. But it's close to where we can see what it looks like, and that's some beef there. I'll definitely probably get some rims with a little bit more back spacing to tuck the wheels a little bit. And this is the ride height I would like the car to be at. I don't really want to go any higher. I think as cars get too high, it kind of looks goofy. Same with trucks. It looks like a fellow that's in the gym all the time, but he never does legs. That's just not, I don't like it, is what I'm saying. So, I'd like it to be this ride height if we can help it. The front is what will determine that. Well, it's officially tomorrow. So I've already opened these and looked at them, and I ordered them so I know what they are, but you guys don't. So let's crack them open. First up, we have a new cover for our front diff. I ordered these from Summit Racing. I don't like the real flashy stuff or the really colorful stuff, so I like the basic design of this one, and I also like that it says Dana 44 on it. Not sure why I like that, but I do. Looks like it's made pretty good. All the surfaces look nice. I don't see any cracks or D-lambs in it anywhere. So I think that's going to work out great for us. And the bigger box is the cover for the rear diff. So same design as the front, little shinier, lighter color on it. The label's a different color, but still says Dana 60. Still looks like it's made really well. I'm really excited to get these on. I wanted this one especially because I really don't like that chrome cover. Every chrome cover I've ever seen ends up leaking. They're not very robust, and I think they look kind of gaudy. I don't like them very much. So I wanted to replace the rear, and I figured, well, if I'm replacing them, I might as well go ahead and upgrade them, so if I bump into rocks, trees, sticks, whatever with them, I don't have to worry about them bending. And I just think these look really cool. So these are what we're going to run. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty cool to me. I don't think I'm gonna bend it. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode of ZF's Garage. The Dana 60 is in the car, but it's not finalized just yet. The next episode, we're going to get the transmission, transfer case, and transmission crossmember in the car so that we can finalize the welds on that rear end once we know our pinion angle is matching up to our output shaft. Now once we get all of that done, we can finally start working on the 3-link setup for the Dana 44 in the front end of this car. I'm really excited to get to that point. It is the biggest part of this project and there's a lot of unknowns, but I can't wait to cross that bridge. If you like the content so far, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the videos as they come out. Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of ZF's Garage. I'll see you in the next one.